Jones' bat is so quiet?
I think a lot of times, Gary, it is. You have young hitters that expand the strike zone. In the big leagues, they won't allow you to do that. Andre Jones, a dead fastball hitter, only 45 AAA at-bats. He hasn't really learned to hit yet. He's a great fastball hitter, but he must learn the strike zone.
He came on in a hurry in Chipper Jones last night.
This is a tremendous hitter. Change up and out away from him now. Fastball down. Walks 80, 85 times a year. And he's just as disciplined a hitter as there is in the major league.
For the Pittsburgh Pirates, a team that is going to struggle this year, and they're doing it early on. Tony Womack, their leadoff hitter, leading them in RBIs. That's not what they want.
No, it's not. He's got 6 RBIs and has yet to score a run. That shows you how anemic this offense has been as producing runs. Certainly, Kevin Young has to get started. Martin has to get started. Not playing tonight. This offense has to get some production from the middle of that lineup.
Well, it won't be easy tonight because they're going to be facing a former Pittsburgh Pirate. His name is Denny Nagel, now pitching for Atlanta. The lefty starts tonight for the Braves.
All right, folks, Steve Levy holding down the fort in our Wednesday night baseball studios. A doubleheader for you coming up. We've got the Braves and the Pirates first. That'll be followed by the Red Sox and the Angels. Plenty of action tonight. A lot of rain this afternoon. Rain took care of a couple of baseball games in the Midwest, including the Mets and the Cubs. They were postponed, rescheduled as part of a doubleheader. You look ahead on your schedule and your calendar for Friday, July 24th. That'll start at 1:05 Eastern, by the way. The other game that was scratched out due to rain, Montreal at Milwaukee. No rescheduled date so far for that one. One transaction today, the A's and the Royals hook up. The Athletics get catcher Mike McFarland. And in exchange for Shane Mack, who's a .300 career hitter, and, of course, the old player to be named later. Then, of course, the A's went out and played a baseball game, not one but two. This was the first game. After the suspended action, they picked it up, and the Indians do hang on to win. Got them off to their first 6-0 start since 1966. The game ended exactly 41.5 hours after its scheduled starting time. Then the regularly scheduled game, top of the 7th, we pick it up, 1-1 tie. It's Pat Borders facing Kenny Rogers, and Rogers gets some swing. Rogers' line looking good. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. Still 1-1. Bottom 7. He's back to rake up against Dave Burba. Matt Stairs starts the rally, double into the gap. We stick around in the 7th for more good action. This now with 2 outs. And A.J. Hinch against Burba, and this one a base hit up the middle. That would score Stairs and give the A's a 2-1 lead. Here we go, bottom of the 8th. Paul Ossenmacher on in relief, and Stairs, blooper, will it fall? Yeah, Ricky can't get to it. Rather, Ricky can get to it. He gets to home plate. And the A's win as Henderson scores, make it 3-1 as your final on that one. The Rogers line outstanding again, and Dave Justice had 2 of Cleveland's 4 hits. We'll talk to you in a bit, but right now, time for the Braves and the Bucks. Gary Thorne and Ray Knight.
And welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh as you take a look at Andrew Jones, who will be leading it off for the Atlanta Braves in this ball game. There's the lineup for Bobby Cox's team. Curtis Pride will be batting second in right. Chipper Jones at third base leads the National League in average, slugging, and on-base percentage early on this year. Andres Galarraga at first, Ryan Klesko in left. Behind the plate, Javi Lopez. Graffinino's got second base, Rafael Belliard at short. Denny Nagel, the left-hander, starting for the Braves. And this lineup will be facing a fine young pitcher, Esteban Loaiza, 26-year-old right-hander. Jones' first ball hitting to left field. Mark Smith, who's out there tonight getting the start, puts it away. 1 pitch and 1 out, Ray Knight.
Well, you see what happened right there with, we talk about what's wrong with Jones swinging at the first pitch. If you're having a tough time with the strike zone, you don't go up there hacking. But Esteban Loaiza, there you see his last year's stats. Outstanding 90-mile-an-hour sinker, slider, this very tight curveball, and a splitter. The thing about this guy is he's outstanding for 4 or 5 innings, and for some reason he's always lost his concentration from 1 inning, and that's been his downfall.
Did not have a decision, Loaiza, in his first start that came against the New York Mets. Curtis Pride at the plate, and he takes the strike. Loaiza started in a 2-1 loss at Shea Stadium last Friday. 6 solid innings, a run on 3 hits. That ball put up in the air again. Smith again in left field. And he's got it. 2 fly ball outs off Esteban Loaiza. Curtis Pride retired, 2 down.
Here you see the Pirates defense there, and outstanding young outfielders. The catcher right there, Kendall, outstanding. Led the National League last year with 35% of runners thrown out. Very adept at calling the game and blocking pitches.
There he is, only 23 years old, and already recognized as one of the very fine catchers in Major League Baseball. Loiza's throwing strikes, and the Braves are coming up swinging. Chipper Jones, you talk about a start. This switch hitter is absolutely on fire. Look at the, now granted, I mean, we're very early on here, only 6 games played. Nevertheless, 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. We said in the open, this is a preseason MVP candidate probability. And Jones takes the pitch inside from Loiza. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, if you're looking at a prototypical Major League player, this is a guy that you look at right here. See, that's what he is for his career in this season early on. His stance, his build, the way he goes about his business.
25 years old, off the fist to right field. That'll be hauled in by Guillen. 6 pitches in that inning by Esteban Loiza. He retires the Braves in order. Pirates coming up when we come back.
Guys like me don't get much respect. I mean, I hit big, but there's no deal.
The season, including the loss to the Atlanta Braves last night. Their lineup looks like this. Tony Womack leads it off. Their second baseman last season led the National League with 60 stolen bases. The catcher, yes, a catcher batting second, Jason Kendall. Mark Smith will be in left field. Young at first base. Jermaine Allensworth in center field. Guillen starts in right. Freddie Garcia third. Lou Collier the shortstop, and Esteban Loiza the pitcher. And the lineup will face a former Pirate, pitched here 5 years. Now with Atlanta, Denny Nagel.
Denny Nagel outstanding. You'll see his last year's stats. 120 ball games, 88, 89 mile-an-hour fastball, not overpowering, but pinpoint control. Devastating circle changeup. Look at his hits there. Just 204 hits and 233 innings pitched. 49 walks. Big curveball that he shows right-handed hitters, but his pitch is definitely that changeup.
And the first batter for the Pirates, second baseman, number 5.
Defense for the Braves, you see Andre Jones there in center field. We talked about him earlier. In left field, Brian Klesko has done an outstanding job. Already 2 assists this year. He's worked real hard and has become a decent defensive outfielder after talking to their coaches today. You're going to see his assist early in the year, April 2nd. Look how he charges the ball, comes up, makes a very strong throw, just nabbing the runner at home plate. Lopez stays in there, makes a real good play. And then the same ball game comes up and just throws a seed strike right to plate. Has to be as he nips the runner here.
He says he's lost some weight, makes him more agile, versatile in the outfield. Says it's for real. Well, he started out that way. Denny Nagel's ready to go to work, and Tony Womack's ready to hit. You put Work and Womack together, and you get what I was going to say. You can see the numbers he's put up so far, and they aren't much. Womack has great speed. However, as a leadoff batter, probably does not take anywhere near the number of pitches you'd like to see a leadoff batter take.
Oh, he really doesn't. He likes to swing the bat. There you see again. He has a tendency, a lot like Andrew Jones, although he's 6 years older than Andrew Jones, to swing the bat. He's very short of stature, 5'9". Little bitty guy to throw to in that crouch. It looks like these guys leading off would try to get on base some way.
That one chopped to third. Chipper Jones is playing in off the artificial carpet. The out on the speedy Womack, 5-3. And the leadoff man is gone. Nagel's got the first out.
Batting second, catcher number
Jones
18,
is playing him to bunt that time, or at least try and chop one down there, and it come in. Took that on that second hop. One away. That'll bring up Jason Kendall. Kendall had a 2-for-4 in the opener of this series yesterday. He's a good hitter against left-handers. 297 last year up the southpaws, and he lines that one out of the reach of Rafael Belliard into the gap. Kendall's on his way to second base. Andrew Jones will get it back in, and a one-out double by Kendall.
Well, Gary, he's just a good hitter. This man hit 396, 294 last year. Fastball right out over the plate, and he scalds it to left center field. And watch how he just leaves this batter's box running full tilt, trying for a triple, but obviously the outstanding relay stopped him at second base.
Boy, he is a good young player right there. He's a fine catcher and a very good offensive threat, very smart base runner. Has very decent speed, in fact, on the bases. So he's on at second base with a one-out double off Kendall, his first two-bagger of the year off Nagel, rather. Kendall there. And here's Mark Smith. Smith getting the start in left field in this game. He will get relatively few starts barring any injuries as this season rolls along. He's not the regular outfielder. Smith will be used primarily as a pinch hitter this season. Gene Lamont said, I've just got to get him in there and get some at-bats, so I decided tonight was as good a night as any with a left-hander on the mound. Surprisingly, though, Smith hit only .212 against left-handers last year.
Well, that's because a lot of left-handers have gone to sinking the ball away at dead fish changeup, and this man's another man that likes the ball hard and true. Good fastball hitter, a lot of power, but a dead red hitter.
He will hit the home runs once in a while. Last season, split time between AAA and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Had 14 home runs at AAA, 9 at the majors. And he pops that one up behind home plate. Javi Lopez has got plenty of room. 2 down. So Nagel gets a big out there. The number 3 hitter retired, Mark Smith.
Batting fourth, first baseman.
This is where the Pirates are struggling. Looking for big hits from the middle of that lineup. Early on this season, they haven't come, and their worry is they won't come.
Well, you have to have a specific approach with every major league pitcher. And Denny Nagel, with that outstanding changeup, you have to make him throw you fastballs. You have to hit the fastball to right field. There's Al Martin, the regular left fielder, taking a seat tonight.
Runners,
go ahead.
second base and 2 down here now. And that will bring up Kevin Young, who takes a strike.
These hitters have to try to hit this fastball to right center field, because if you try to pull this fastball, he'll eat you up with that changeup, and that's what Mark Smith did. Looking for the fastball and hit the changeup on the end of the bat.
This is the best right-handed hitter against lefties last year, a .360 average for Kevin Young. Denny Nagel comes inside to him. Young went and is 1 for 3 lifetime against Denny Nagel. He's their cleanup batter, 1 for 4 in the opener last night. Kendall on at second base. 29-year-old left-hander Denny Nagel won his first start, 7 innings, gave up just 4 hits, walked 2 and struck out 3 in his opener. And that one to right field, curving over towards the foul line, and that's where it'll end up. Foul ball in the bullpen.
That's a nice approach there, staying with that ball. Kevin Young can flat out hit. Last year, as you mentioned, he had 18 home runs with 74 RBIs and just 300 at bats. Watch his right shoulder and how he stays down with his head on this ball. That's an ideal approach right there. You cannot leak with that left shoulder, and that head cannot come off the ball at all if you're going to hit a pitcher that keeps the ball away and down.
He's 28 years old, has a great comeback story, having been released a couple of times from Major League Baseball. Swung on and missed. Denny Nagel got him. Nagel gets the strikeout, so Kendall, who had the double, is left stranded at second base. We've completed 1 in Pittsburgh. Braves and Bucks, no score.
You'd really like to be there, but it's miles away. Let DirecTV Sports take you to the game with MLB Extra Innings. See up to 35 regular season games every week from all across the country and never leave home. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get the entire regular season for only $119 or 4 payments of $29.75.
Segui puts one off the speaker off Hideki Arabu. Winds up on third. Arabu would wild pitch him home. It's 1-0 now.
Well, the boss is not going to be happy if the Yankees lose a couple more and Arabu's among the losing pitchers.
No.
Yankees are not off to a good start. Ready to go, second inning. The big cat, Andres Galarraga. The new first baseman for the Atlanta Braves. With Fred McGriff gone, those are the numbers that he has started with. 36 years old, a .288 career hitter. And Loaiza down and away to him in a hurry. 1 ball, 1 strike. This guy was first in RBIs, 3rd in home runs, 4th in runs scored, and 4th in strikeouts last year with Colorado. Center field, and that was hit off the handle way back there. Goodbye home run. I don't believe it. He hit that pitch off the handle to dead center field. Galarraga's got the dinger, and it's 1-0 Braves.
That's what you call strong. They talk about Colorado helping him. There's no question about it helping him. But when you're as strong as that man right there, you're going to do some serious damage. Watch this ball right here. Fastball running up and in fastball. Look how he fights himself. It looks like he got jammed, but he brings his hands real close to his body there, fights the ball off, with his hands and gets the barrel of the bat out there and hits the ball right on the sweet spot, Gary.
Second home run of the year, and that ball just kept going. Andres Galarraga off Loaiza, and the Atlanta Braves on their first hit of the ball game take a 1-0 lead. Just think where he'd hit it if he got his arms out over the plate.
That reminds me of the way Jack Clark and Steve Garvey used to do. You try to bust them inside, and you think you'd get jammed, you'd jam them, and they'd bring those arms in tight and throw that bat barrel. And
wow. Last year, when he gets his arms out, May 31st, 97, he had the second longest home run last year. Only Mark McGwire hit it further. This baby in Florida was up in no man's land where they don't even let people sit.
That's a long, long way up there.
Oh, it's like 538, I think, is what they finally decided on. Pitch is taken away by Ryan Klesko, another one of the big boppers in the lineup. Klesko, you see the numbers he's put up so far. He's had only 2 hits ever off Loaiza, 2 for 12, but both of them home runs. And Loaiza walks him here on 4 straight out of the strike zone.
Loaiza's had a tendency, as we mentioned earlier in the open, to get wild and to lose his concentration. He's not been able to battle back from adversity. If an infielder makes an error or there's a blooper for a base hit, he's struggled for that next inning or so. So he's a guy that generally shuts you down for 6 or 7 innings and gives up 1 big inning.
Now Javi Lopez up. Lopez first ball heading to right field. Guillen back, warning track, and we'll put it away. Klesko tags up, but he's not going anywhere. Lopez retired, 1 down here in the second inning. And Esteban Loaiza, as you see, a fly ball pitcher. These balls are being hit up in the air by the Atlanta Braves, and that can be a little dangerous. 1 when it's the Atlanta Braves, and 2 when it's here in Pittsburgh, where the ball tends to carry pretty well.
Yeah, he should not be a fly ball pitcher. He's got outstanding sink on his fastball, but you've noticed all the pitches up tonight have been up, and that takes the sink off the fastball, and as a result, you get fly balls.
He's got a runner on at first base, and the inside pitch to Tony Graffinino. We talked in the opener about the changes for the Atlanta Braves in their infield. With Rafael Belliard starting at short, Andres Galarraga at first, and Tony Graffinino starting at second base. All 3 were not starters last year on a team that won 101 games. That's pretty amazing for Bobby Cox's club to have that many changes.
It is amazing. The thing that they've decided to do, obviously, is to sign their pitchers for all the big money, and then there's not a whole lot left. So they go out looking for bargains and bringing along young players like Andrew Jones and Graffinino.
Blauser's gone at shortstop. Mocklermke gone at second base, and McGriff gone at first. Well, these are the new players for the Atlanta Braves, and Andres Galarraga, as we said, the newly acquired, and you see why they got him. His home run here was the 19th home run that he has hit at Three Rivers Stadium. He's among the leaders, players who've had homers here at this ballpark. 1 down, Klesko at first base, Tony Graffinino, ground ball towards the hole. He's got a base hit. Smith up with it. Klesko stops at second base. Well, 1 on the ground, but off the carpet, went between Garcia and Collier, the third baseman and shortstop.
Well, as a pitching coach, you don't mind seeing that. That's what you want Loaiza to do. Keep the ball down, and they'll hit the ball on the ground. If you have a solid defense behind him, they'll make the plays. Pirates have outstanding young minor leaguers coming along. We'll talk about that a little bit later. They have 3 terrific young players down in AAA.
Now, Loaiza with 2 on. Only 1 down, and a chopper by Rafael Belliard. The only play is going to be at first. Loaiza goes over, gets the second out of the inning. The runners will move up. Klesko goes to third base, talking to Bobby Dews, the coach, and Graffinino down to second with 2 away for Nagel.
Batting 9th, pitcher number 15.
Players are all first ball hitting in this game so far, so each team expecting the opposing pitcher to throw strikes. Rafael Belliard retired for the second out. Now Denny Nagel gets the opportunity. Nagel up could really help himself here. He already has picked up 1 hit. With 2 down, 2 in scoring position for Nagel. The Braves on top 1-0, and a good cut. Foul back for a strike. Denny Nagel is a good hitting pitcher. Nagel will take his cuts up there, as you saw on that one. He's not afraid to take a rip. Boy, if he could pick up a base hit here, 2 RBIs could be his. Graffinino with decent speed out there at second base. Klesko on at third. Overhand fastball inside, 1-1.
Well, that's something that the Braves really pride themselves on. The Braves pitchers is hitting. Jim Beecham, one of their coaches, throws to them every other day in the batting cage, and they're all outstanding hitting pitchers.
Foul that one back. The secret, as in anything else, Ray, is if you're going to be a hitting pitcher, you've got to take some batting practice too, and many pitchers don't do it, even in this league.
Greg Maddox, one of those good hitting pitchers. Last year, he says his goal every year is to have his batting average higher than his earned run average. That's kind of tough sometimes.
Yeah, you got that right. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Nagel. Infield playing back against the opposing pitcher at the plate. Loaiza, 1-2, look out. He almost wiped out Klesko, the base runner at third. And also almost got himself an extra base hit down the line.
Well, these Brave pitchers, they compete in everything. They play golf. Ryan Klesko way off the line. It's one way you stay off the line. If you hit in fair territory, you're out.
Another fastball grounded towards first. Loaiza's got a cover. Nice flip made over there by Young. A run on a couple of hits, 2 left on. Andres Galarraga's second home run of the season as he powered this one out to center field to give the Atlanta Braves a 1-0 lead.
In this line of work, I'm a contract killer. A little over.
Rick for the second game of this series against the Atlanta Braves. Great to have you with us here Wednesday Night Baseball. Red Sox and Anaheim, second part of our doubleheader coming up tonight. Pittsburgh doing everything they can, obviously, to get the folks here back into the ballpark. They had a sellout for their opener last night. We'll have the drop-off, obviously, tonight, but they are hoping their ball club can be scrappy and competitive. They know it's going to be a struggle. They do not have the money to buy a lot of free agents and have to go with the homegrown talent they have. Jermaine Allensworth will lead it off here. Guillen and Garcia to follow. Denny Nagel, the left-hander, now with a 1-0 lead. And the outside corner strike to Allensworth.
Well, they're going to be as good as they're pitching. They're not a very offensive ball club. Last year, Cordova was outstanding. Lieber threw the ball well. Their starting pitching was very solid, and the bullpen was pretty deep. The bullpen looks fairly deep this year. They have 3 left-handers out there. Rincon is going to come back in what?
About a week, they said.
About a week.
Yep.
But they look like to me they're going to have a tough time scoring runs.
0-2 delivery on the way, and that's taken inside for a ball. That is already evident by the fact that they, take a look at Loaiza, are not picking up extra base hits. Pittsburgh's had just 3 home runs in their first 7 games. 10 doubles, 3 triples. And their problem is going to be for Gene Lamont finding some people at the top of the order, one to be the table setters. That's not done yet. And then hoping to find some hot bats at different times in the middle of that lineup for RBI.
Well, when you look at their lineup and you look at the depth of their lineup, Kevin Young there is by far their most offensive player. He and Al Martin are pretty close. I wouldn't say by far. Al Martin and he are the 2 biggest offensive threats. The rest of the guys are basically punch and Judy type hitters. Guillen hit 14 home runs, but most of these guys hit 4 or 5 home runs, and they have to hit and run and bunt and generate runs that way.
They got to create them. A ground ball towards short. Rafael Belliard, the quick toss over, and Allensworth is retired on the ground ball out from Nagel. Belliard also is a former Pittsburgh Pirate. He spent a lot of seasons over here working both the bench and getting some starts. Belliard, a veteran, 36 years old, just a .221 career hitter, but a good, solid defensive player.
Boy, can he play shortstop.
Nagel gets the first out, 1 down. And that will bring up Jose Guillen. Guillen, the right fielder, 2 for 4 in the opener against the Braves last night. Denny Nagel works it outside for a ball.
And I think Guillen's the best of their young talent. Just 21 years old last year, 267 with 14 home runs and 70 ribbies. But a guy that's outstanding defensively. Hits the ball very well to right field last night. We witnessed that home run. Did he hit the right field? Talk about he and Andrew Jones. He has a very good idea, again, of the strike zone. Not afraid to hit the ball to right field.
Takes the strike. Those names, Ray, Andrew Jones and Jose Guillen, they were the 2 youngest opening day starters in the National League this year. He's about to turn 21, Andrew Jones, and Guillen is 21 years old. Both starting for their respective teams. Another chopper. Nagel knocked it down, can't make the play, and Guillen is on with one away. It'll be a base hit.
We're getting back to those two players there. You see Guillen legging that out. He does not have a lot of speed. Very average runner, gets a great jump on the ball, but Andrew Jones, no question, has the upside. As you see the replay here, a changeup hits on the end of the bat. And as all these Pirates do, Gene Lamont has them hustling. Very average speed as Nagel hits the ball off the end of his glove and Guillen safe. Looks like he's running with a little limp there. As in my voice, limp.
Limp, or maybe just putting a little deke on Denny Nagel. Runner at first. Garcia, Freddie Garcia, the third baseman, swings through the fastball. Strike one on Garcia.
And here's a man that can generate some offense. Last year, 27 home runs and 3 minor league stops. Another man that sits dead red fastball, get him on changeups and off-speed pitches, but he doesn't leave a whole lot there. He swings with everything he has, almost every hack.
Had played only 62 games, Garcia, at the major league level before this season. And they are going to give him lots of work at third base. Doug Strange will be a backup player there at third for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But it is, as Gene Lamont said, Garcia's job to lose at this point early on this year. 0-2 count on him, 1 strike, not a big lead at first for Guillen. Nagel gets him as he turned over that circle change down and away. Garcia gone, 2 strikeouts for Denny Nagel.
That's just flat out nasty. There's not a thing you can do to this unless you're trying to hit the ball right down the first baseline. First of all, it's a ball, but look how far he's out front. Turns it loose with his right hand, tries to extend out there, but still missed the ball 6 or 8 inches. Denny
Nagel, as you would expect of Atlanta Brave pitcher, a lot of control. Last season, 2 games against the Pirates, came away with a win, 203 earned run average against him. Those are his career numbers against Pittsburgh. Lou Collier, the starting shortstop, goes after the off-speed pitch, strike 1. Collier batting in the number 8 spot and facing Denny Nagel for the first time. Nagel is a great control pitcher. Only 49 walks last year in 233 innings. And he struck out 172. You do not go up looking for a free pass from this left-hander.
It was really interesting what Walt Weiss said about this Atlanta pitching staff today, wasn't it? Talking about positioning himself on defense.
The great discussion with Walt Weiss, who's out with a muscle pull, about how these Atlanta pitchers are so consistent. And Denny Nagel does it right here. That's 3 strikeouts. Nagel got 2 of them this inning. A base runner left on for the Pirates. Atlanta Braves on top, 1-0.
On the left, 96, watch his swing. He starts with his left foot, kicks up a little bit. The ball's down, very aggressive. Almost the same swing on the right side, but this ball is up around his neck. And that's what happens. He's not being selective enough. Just missed that ball on the right. Good swing, good balance, but he chased a bad ball.
1996, of course, Andrew Jones, at the tender age of 19 plus a few months, came on and became a hero in Atlanta against the Yankees. Hit 400 in the World Series with a couple of home runs and 6 RBIs. But that did not carry over into the next season and hasn't carried over here. Denny Nagel with a 1-strike count on him. Bounces that one.
Well, you can see what happens here. You can see that first ball was up. The next pitch was up around letter high. He chases that, misses, and he goes back, Kendall down away with a breaking ball. So they're going to go upstairs with a fastball, bust him in right there, bust him inside, then go back away with the breaking ball. So they're just moving the ball around the quadrant of the strike zone, not even trying to throw the ball down the heart of the plate. Just letting his eagerness get himself out.
Clarence Jones, hitting instructor of the Atlanta Braves, working with him regularly. A chopper towards short will have to be cut off. Collier's got it. High throw goes off the glove of Young. Lou Collier making the running throw, overthrew Young at first base. Andrew Jones will reach.
Again, Andrew out front. The ball's high. It's a ball. He hits it off the end of his bat. Shortstops have to have very good feet. Here he does not get his left foot on the ground before he makes the throw. As a result, the ball goes high. If you use your feet there, a lot of you young infielders at home, your feet are as important as your hands. If you have quick feet, very active feet, then your hands become soft and you get yourself in position to make those throws.
So he's on, and Pride coming up. They haven't decided whether that's going to be a hit or an error. Now they charge the error to Collier. So the error is on Lou Collier. Swung on, Curtis Pride left field. Mark Smith in the corner, diving. It's a fair ball. He's going to make the play at second base. Throw not in time, but what a play by Mark Smith to haul that in. And the umpire signaled fair, and Smith got the ball in the out. Andrew Jones tags up.
Well, he went a heck of a long way for this ball. Mark Smith known for his bat. Right there diving on that. That's rubber. That stuff is not soft. Here's the tag with Andrew Jones with that great speed, and just pulls it up and coasts into second base.
And he's not a regular left fielder, as we said. In fact, he's known as a pinch hitter. Now Chipper Jones with an RBI opportunity. Jones with a runner at second base and one down.
But watch how these disciplined hitters, how deep they go into count. They take a lot of first pitches. Kendall led the National League last year in not swinging at first pitches. But in order to hit for a high average, you have to be patient.
And Chipper Jones is that. He got one he wanted right there and fouled it back. Andrew Jones on at second base. Chipper Jones is already 6 for 10 with runners in scoring position and 2 home runs in those situations. Not a bad start. He's got a chance for another RBI right here. He already has driven in 11 runs. One down. Esteban Loaiza checking second. 2-strike count on Chipper Jones.
You'll see these great RBI men. Chipper with 111 RBIs last year. They're able to fight pitches off, tough pitches off, and get to a better pitch. And they'll end up seeing 4 or 5 pitches in at bat, and eventually a pitcher, either out of lack of concentration or losing concentration, will they make that mistake over the plate and they'll rip it somewhere.
Galarraga waiting on deck, and the pitch is outside, trying to get him to chase. 1-ball, 2-strike count on Chipper Jones. Will he stargel around the great Pittsburgh Pirate hero, around the clubhouse and dugout tonight, and watching the ball game here at Three Rivers?
Wow, what a scary hitter. Man.
1-ball, 2-strike count on Jones. Chopper back to the mound. They've got the runner trapped. Andrew Jones. Loaiza will chase him back towards second base. Rafael Belliard will join in the rundown. Belliard will tag. Stayed in it long enough for Chipper Jones to move down to second base, but Andrew Jones is the second out of the inning. Galarraga coming up after we check in with Steve Levy. Steve.
All right, Gareth, thanks again. EA Sports takes us back to the Kingdom in Seattle. It was 1-0 in favor of the Mariners, but then Jorge Posada singles home Darryl Strawberry, who's been hot lately. That would tie it at 1-1 as they move to the bottom of the 5th. Guys?
And we'll keep you posted on all the games going on around Major League Baseball here in Pittsburgh. Atlanta leading on a Galarraga home run, and here's the big cat again. Chipper Jones moved down to second base on the fielder's choice. Andrew Jones taking out 1-6 as he got caught. Now Galarraga, 2 home runs in the year. Galarraga against Loaiza now is 12 for 19 in his career against the Pirate right-hander.
Pete Vukovich, the pitching coach for the Pirates, was talking about his young pitching staff and how often with first base open, they don't think about what they're trying to do. Here you have, although Klesko's a left-hand hitter, Galarraga has worn out Loaiza. So you have 2 choices here. If you get ahead of Galarraga, go ahead and get him out. But if you get behind him, you have first base open. He was talking about actually lamenting his faith over the course of the season last year, how his young pitchers so often fail to think about pitching around hitters with first base open and an even or lesser hitter behind.
Francisco Cordova, another one of the young starters for these Pittsburgh Pirates. 2-strike count, 2 down. Loaiza to the belt set. Galarraga takes the fastball. Galarraga also has struck out 10 times. Andres Galarraga last year struck out 141 times. The man he replaced, Fred McGriff, who was here, struck out 112. These Braves could pile up huge strikeout numbers, along with other big numbers. Galarraga struck out 11 times. Loaiza gets his first K of the game. Despite the error, the Braves unable to convert. It remains Atlanta leading Pittsburgh 1-0. Kevin McClatchy, the young owner of these Pittsburgh Pirates, putting together an organization and a team, and a scrappy one at that. They're trailing right now. The Braves on top by a score of 1-0. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Coming up, Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio. They look to lead the Astros back to the top of the NHL. They go up against Mike Piazza and the Dodgers in Los Angeles. Astros-Dodgers this Sunday, 8 o'clock on the Mothership. Great to have you with us here in Pittsburgh tonight. Denny Nagel going back to work. And Loaiza's got a base hit into right field. The opposing pitcher with a leadoff single in the 3rd inning. Steve Levy.
All right, Gary, this time it's the Cards and Rocks. They're well underway now at Coors. Top of the 1st, St. Louis on the board. Delano to Shields squeezes one through. It's an RBI single. Plates Royce Clayton rather. It's 1-0.
Mark McGwire did not pick up a home run at Coors Field in the ball game yesterday, but he'll make up for that. Tony Womack coming up. So the opposing pitcher, Esteban Loaiza, gets the Pirates' 3rd hit. Now Tony Womack, who grounded out his first time up, he is 3 for 7 lifetime against left-hander Denny Nagel.
And you should see him try to bunt for a base hit right here, or even sacrifice. Even though it's the 3rd inning, you know you're not going to score a lot off Nagel.
Tried to drop it down to 3rd and fouled it back.
Well, that's a good play. That's what these guys have to do in order to stay in ball games. What you want to do is stay in the ball game to the 7th, 8th inning, and then have a chance to win and turn over to your bullpen, and the bullpen may be their strength.
That's what we were talking about, Ray, manufacturing runs. Gene Lamont's trying to do that right here. Get your pitcher on, let your leadoff man bunting down, and then hope your second hitter is a good contact hitter, Jason Kendall, and get him home. Does not show bunt there, and it's 0-2. Womack did not square around. Now Chipper Jones at 3rd can back up. 2-strike count. Loaiza not being held at first. And the pitch is outside. Nagel trying to get him to chase a ball at 2 strikes. Ray, we were talking about the conversation we had with Walt Weiss about working as an infielder behind this Atlanta pitching staff, and he was telling me before the game, he said it's unbelievable. Every pitch is exactly the way they say they're going to throw it, so we can position ourselves perfectly on every pitch. That one lofted to left field, not deep. Klesko fighting the lights a bit and got it, and Womack's out of there.
And there's a great example. Klesko only playing about 220 feet from home plate, and they trust when they go over these defensive charts and the pitchers and the offense set down together. Right here, look at the left fielder here when this ball goes out. He hardly has to move. This is just a little fly ball to left field. It gets in the lights a little bit, but they pinch the outfielders in because they know through their advanced scout, Leo Mazzoni, where these guys hit the ball when you throw it to a certain area. And these Braves pitchers put it there more often than anybody else.
Great control staff, and that makes such a difference in your defense. Now Jason Kendall, the Pirate catcher. 1-0 count on him, 1 down. Loaiza on at first base. Kendall picked up a double in his first at-bat. His second hit ever off Nagel. 2 for 7 lifetime off him. Infield looking for 2. Hit in the air. That's deep. Left field. Klesko looking way back. Goodbye home run. Jason Kendall. 2-1 Pirates.
He goes with that circle change. There you see him grip it, and Kendall just stays back, and ball really is a good pitch down. Look at him go down and get this ball. But he stayed back, and this is why he is a 300 hitter. He looked for that changeup, stayed back, was not fooled on it. Even though Nagel made his pitch, Kendall was a little better than him that at bat.
Jason Kendall had 8 home runs last year. That's his first of the year. And the Pirates lead it by a score of 2-1. As he ripped that one. So he's got a double and a home run now in this ball game. And he gives the Bucks the 2-1 lead. There's the long ball, big hit they were looking for, and it came from the 23-year-old catcher. Mark Smith swings and misses on the circle change. 2-strike count. 1 down. The bases now cleared. Denny Nagel surrendering the first home run he's given up this year. He gave up only 18 home runs last year. 0-2 delivery. Smith takes it up high, 1-2.
Well, catchers work with pitchers so much, obviously, that I think catchers really should be great hitters because they know how you try to set hitters up. They know what the opposition's best pitch is. They should know what that pitcher is going to in any given time. And Jason Kendall's hit 300 the last 2 years.
Another strikeout for Nagel. He already has 4 Ks in the game. 2 down.
Actually, 294 and 300 the last 2 years. And the great hitters look for pitches. And then when they get them, they know what to do with them.
Yeah, able to locate them in the seats. 2 down. Here's Kevin Young, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 6th home run surrendered by Braves pitchers this year, and the 4th hit by the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2 down. Bases empty, but that brought the home crowd to their feet. There goes the bat, splintered on the foul ball, and a 2-strike count on Kevin Young. Ray, this is a pretty good ballpark. We were talking about the fact home runs can be hit here, especially when it heats up in the summer. This ballpark, though, probably a hitter's yard more than a pitcher's yard, huh?
I think so, because you see the ball so well here, like a lot of the St. Louis and Philadelphia and Cincinnati. The lighting is so good right on top of the field, and the turf is so quick. But, you know, I never saw a lot of home runs hit here, even when I came in with those Reds teams early in the year, in the springtime. But as it heated up during the summer, the ball started jumping out of here.
Jumping out of here tonight, we've had 2 dingers in this ball game. Andres Galarraga accounting for the Atlanta run, and the 2-run homer by Jason Kendall. 0-2 delivery on the way, swung on and missed. Nagel has 5 strikeouts in the game now, but the Pittsburgh Pirates have a 2-1 lead as Jason Kendall has delivered a double in his first at-bat and then takes that Nagel pitch, puts it in the seat.
A snowflake falls at the far end of history.
ESPN's Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by Gateway 2000, direct personal computers. Lights are on here in Pittsburgh, and it is a beautiful evening right now. Pirates especially liking it, leading 2-1. Esteban Loaiza. Ryan Klesko, Lopez, and Graffinino due up for the Braves, who are 4-2. Coming into this ball game tonight, Atlanta Braves opening up with a 3-2 homestand, then went on the road, started last night here. Klesko, the bouncing ball to first. Young makes the play. Ryan Klesko had to walk his first time up, retired. 1 down here in the 4th inning. 1-2-0 for Atlanta, 2-4-1 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Talking about strikeouts last year, Ryan Klesko was the 7th high in strikeouts in the league with 130. This Atlanta Braves team struck out 1,160 times last year, and they'll probably have more strikeouts than that this year. Lopez up. They've added Graffinino at second base. He strikes out a lot. They've got at first base Galarraga, who strikes out more than McGriff did. But you know something? It may not matter in the one-loss column. They still may lead everybody in wins.
Well, you know, they're that type of team. They're a big offensive ball club that has always scored runs in bunches. Bobby Cox never played for that 1 run. He plays for that 3 or 4 runs, and that's what happens when you do that.
Javi Lopez fouls that one off. 2-strike count on the catcher. Well, it's been successful. Bobby Cox and the Atlanta Braves, they have had more wins over the last 7 years than any other team. Any other team in Major League Baseball. 6 division championships, 4 pennants, and a World Series win. And the players love playing for Bobby Cox. They have great respect for him, and they work hard for him. 0-2 delivery. That one launched towards left center field. Is going to fall in for a base hit. So Lopez is on. Allensworth gets it back in. A 1-out single here in the 4th inning. Let's take a look at our in-game box score as you take a look at the lineup there. with the Atlanta Braves having Galarraga's home run. Lopez and Graffinino picking up singles so far in this game. Our in-game box score 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position for the Braves. Graffinino, weak swing on the off-speed delivery by Loaiza. Tony Graffinino, 1 strike count. He picked up a single in his first at bat. Checking with Bobby Dews, the third base coach for Bobby Cox. Lopez on at first base. Potential for a hit and run here. With 1 down. Runner not going. Chopped down to third base. Freddie Garcia. Tony Womack. Not in time. I'll tell you something. Kevin Young does the best imitation of Mary Lou Retton I've ever seen a ball player do. Man, can he stretch at first base.
Well, this is a routine double play. Womack gets rid of the ball good. Graffinino just really busts down there. Got a little better than average speed there, but he does really stretch, doesn't he?
Oh, my. That hurts me all the way up here. So the forced play. Good effort at first for the attempted double, but even that stretch by Young couldn't do it. Rafael Belliard now 2 away. Graffinino on at first base. Belliard on Loaiza's pitch. Strike 1. Loaiza has thrown 9 pitches this inning. They've all been strikes. There's Walt Weiss out with a hamstring pull for the Atlanta Braves. Normally would be at shortstop. Walt said he was ready to start today, but didn't want to take the chance. But I've had that hamstring problem before, so I just as soon wait. So Rafael Belliard gets the start at short. Weiss probably said we'll be back this weekend against Philadelphia. Belliard again not able to reach that one. 0-2.
That's a cutter, 86 mile an hour. Looks like a slider, but you don't throw too many sliders 86 unless you were J.R. Richard. But that's a little fastball that he cuts. He goes away from the right-handed hitter.
26-year-old right-hander, non-decisioned in his first start, makes the throw over to first. We mentioned Loaiza's got a great repertoire with that split-fingered pitch and a slider, curve, fastball. Mixes up the deliveries, changes speeds. Only 26 years old. He has a chance to be a fine starter for this team for some time to come. To right field off the bat of Belliard, played there by Guillen, and that will do it. 11 pitches, 11 strikes from Esteban Loaiza. Base runner left on. Pittsburgh leading the Braves 2-1.
They are from the same breed. They have the same...
Denny Nagel's pitches here as he throws a fastball inside. Strike, change up away, fastball, actually change up down and in, change up away, and then comes back with a heater. Kevin Young up. Outstanding stuff. One mistake all night long, and Kendall hit it out of the yard.
He's had 5 strikeouts, all swinging. Ironically, last night, Tommy Glavine, the Braves starter, had 5 strikeouts, and they were all called third strikes, which is rather typical for what these 2 pitchers give you, which isn't much. Jermaine Allensworth leads it off for the Bucks. Swung on and fouled off at the plate. Allensworth, numbers on the season so far. He grounded out short his first at bat. Guillen and Garcia will follow. 2-1 lead for Pittsburgh. Off speed, you saw him buckle his knees on that one.
There's that big hook that he only throws maybe 10 or 12 times a game. And they do buckle on that pitch. They don't see it enough to even expect it. They get to think of that changeup so much in the back of their head.
0-2 delivery. Then you come back with heat that looks like it's 190 miles an hour after you throw that changeup.
It really does.
A very smart pitcher. 29 years old, Denny Nagel, only 20-game winner last year, 2.97 ERA. Fastball, and you saw Allensworth fighting, just trying to get that bat into the strike zone. Remains a 1-2 count.
When Nagel's trying to get this ball in, you see Javi setting up inside there, gets the ball out over the plate. If that ball had been inside, he would not have been able to do much with it. But he didn't quite get it in enough.
Allensworth down on the count 1-2. Allensworth was a #2 hitter for this team last year. Gene Lamont continues in a quandary about who to bat second in this lineup. He's got Jason Kendall there right now because Kendall's a better contact hitter at a better on-base percentage, but he's also a better RBI man who he'd like to have down in the lineup. But he really doesn't have anybody else to put in that 2 slot. Right field. Pride comes in, makes the catch, 1 down. Take a look at our in-game box score here in the first game of our doubleheader on this Wednesday night. Note 3 home runs in the last 4 innings. Pittsburgh Pirates picking up a couple in the 9th inning last night when the game was actually out of reach. Kendall has had the home run here in this game to put his team on top. In fact, that's the first home run that hasn't been hit in the 9th inning this year by Pittsburgh. The other 3 all came in the 9th, including the 2 last night. Foul back by Jose Guillen.
Well, he's gone away, Nagel, to all these hitters, and now he's starting to work inside. He and Lopez have chosen this inning, the 4th, to start showing pitches inside. That's the 4th pitch out of the last 5 that he's thrown has been on the inside part of the plate.
Jose Guillen, the 0-1 delivery to him, right back there again. 1-1.
That's what happens when someone hits your changeup 390 feet. You say, well, wait a minute. I got to make them respect this thing a little more.
1-1 delivery. That's it in the air to deep left center field. Guillen knows it's gone and put away. That's by home run, 3-1 Bucks.
That's a nice power stroke. Little move of that knee, stays behind the ball. He knew it was gone. Nagel said, see you later. He knew it was out of here, too. Guillen, just 21 years old.
Now, how about these Bucks? They're putting the long ball to work against the team that's supposed to be hitting them against them.
All you have to do is talk about it, man.
That's right.
Start talking negatively about something and always turns around here.
Guillen's got his 2nd home run of the year, and the Pirates have a 3-run lead, 3-1 lead. 3 runs on 5 hits. Freddie Garcia, strikeout victim, his first time up.
But you know, if you sit over there and watch pitchers, you could tell, I could tell, you could tell that Nagel was starting to throw the ball inside. Guillen recognized that look in there and got one right where he wanted it.
Guillen had 14 home runs last year. And a 3-1 lead as they jump on Denny Nagel, who's got a strange pitching line going right now in this game. He hasn't walked anybody. He has struck out 5, but he's given up 3 runs on 5 hits, including 2 home runs. That is not a typical line for Denny Nagel. He is the #1 fly ball pitcher in the National League coming off last year. So when he's on, they're hit in the air. But generally, they stay in the yard. 2-2 delivery. There's that big change-up again. Garcia struck out twice, 6 Ks for Nagel. Steve Levy.
All right, Gareth, thanks. As you know, Florida trying to avoid their first ever 8-game losing streak. They were down 2-0 until Craig Counsell's RBI single. Florida on the board. They trail now 2-1.
Well, teams right there, both who are going to struggle this year are the Phillies and the Marlins. Phillies trying to rebuild, and of course the Marlins, world champions, decimated with the breakup of their team. Lou Collier, and he'll take the pitch inside, ball 1. Collier strikeout victim. Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates aren't expected to hit a lot of dingers this year overall as a team. Certainly put it on here against Denny Nagel. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Collier. Caught the inside corner, 1-2.
75 miles an hour when he flips that curveball. Everybody just quits on it.
Head on the count, 1-2. That one to right field, Pride in, and he's got it. That'll retire the side, but not before the Bucks add another one, the second home run of the season, picked up by Guillen. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game, and that one he knew was gone when it came off the bat. Bucks lead by 2. The plate for the Atlanta Braves. Gene Lamont may have had one of the great lines of the year after the 11-3 loss by his team last night. Lamont, the skipper of the Pirates, said it was worse than the score indicated. The 1-1 is fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Gene Lamont, runner-up for manager of the year to Dusty Baker last year. I think an ideal manager for this Pirate organization. He comes back to Pittsburgh, having coached here under Jimmy Leland, a third base coach, taking over as manager last season. He has the patience for a team that requires it.
He's really low-key and a guy that's stern when he has to be, but doesn't say too much.
Nagel is short. Collier's got him. Nagel is retired, 1 away here in the 5th inning. Second half of our doubleheader coming up later. Mo Vaughn and the Boston Red Sox. Vaughn is red hot. Take on Edmonds and the Angels. That'll be coming up next right here on ESPN. Game 1 here in Pittsburgh. First half of our doubleheader, where the Pirates have the 3-1 lead. 1 away, nobody on. Andrew Jones has reached on an error and flied out. Jones, first ball hitting to third. Freddie Garcia.
Well, he's going to have a tough time hitting higher than 200 if he continues to swing at everything they throw up there. Little slider away off the plate, and he's just got one of those attitudes, thou shalt not pass. You're talking about a tremendous young hitter ability-wise, tools-wise, 5-tool player. But he's going to have to learn that strike zone and not be so doggone anxious.
What he's doing right now is first ball hitting himself back to the minors. They may have to do that with Andrew Jones. Bobby Cox says, I'll be patient as long as he catches the ball in the outfield. And he can do that. But you can't have him hanging around here hitting 100 because he's going to lose all his confidence.
Well, you learn so much by taking a pitch also. I don't know why so many young hitters want to swing at the first pitch.
Breaking ball missed by Pride.
You learn velocity, you learn movement of the breaking ball. A lot of times I'd go up there and take the first pitch if it was a ball. I'd take the next pitch just to learn more about what the pitcher had. You learn the rotation of his breaking ball, the sink of his fastball, the velocity, what type of changeup or off-speed pitch he has.
1-1 delivery, fouled off. The whole secret to this, as far as Andrew Jones staying at the major league level or going down, may be a guy by the name of Gerald Williams, who's on the bench for the Atlanta Braves. He can play center field.
He can flat out play, and he can hit, he can run, he can throw. Former Yankee, and last year with the Brewers, very impressive player. There you see Gerald.
He may get some playing time here. 1-2 pitch, swung on, grounded hard. Great stop made. Womack, oh yeah, glove salute. Esteban Loaiza with some fine pitching, a little defensive help from Womack. A little standing O to boot.
Here at hole 7 of the Cooper Tire Invitational, a long par 9,000 from Chicago. The green surrounded by water. We talked to our leader about this crucial hole.
Tough hole. I rely a lot on my Cooper tires and my low iron.
Here's some replays of you through the Midwest.
The April 14th, Race and Sports. Running in place, it's a town hall meeting. President Clinton will lead the discussion with panelists and audience. Bob Lee will be hosting. Joe Morgan will be among those on that panel. Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Jim Brown, Dennis Green will also be there. That's coming up April 14 live, 7:30 to 9:30 on ESPN. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Denny Nagel working here against Esteban Loaiza, who fouls it back. Loaiza single, and he scored in the 3rd inning on the Jason Kendall home run. It's his first hit of the year. Both these pitchers are throwing strikes. Loaiza's 44 out of 59 in the strike zone. Denny Nagel 44 out of 60 coming into the inning. And Loaiza fights it off. 2-strike count. Loaiza, 26 years old, comes to the Pirates from Mexico. They've got a great Mexican connection going for pitchers. They got ahead of all the other major league teams in scouting the Mexican League and have come up with some real finds. And in an organization trying to save money and find players in places others don't, they've done that.
Well, ironically, you talk about that. I was having dinner up there, and Cam Bonifay was talking to the president of Mexico City Reds, who was here as a guest of the Pirates, so they continued that relationship.
Great idea. Danny Nagel, that is 7 strikeouts in the game now. Loaiza 1 down in the 5th. Cam Bonifay, the GM we were talking about, right?
Yeah, Cam and I go back a long way. 1970, Georgia State All-Star game. I was a shortstop. He was a first baseman. Went on to play at Georgia Tech.
He's done a great job to put a team together with not a lot of money to work with. Tony Womack, leadoff batter, is grounded out and flied out. Ricardo Rincon is on the DL. Elmer Dressens, Loaiza, Francisco Cordova, all coming from the Mexican League to pitch for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and all of them have done a very decent job. Denny Nagel to Womack. Missed with that one, and a 3-0 count. First time we've seen either pitcher go 3-0 in this game. Last 2 seasons, Denny Nagel has walked fewer than 2 per 9 innings. 3-0 pitch, and there's one of those rarities. Womack is on. The league's leading base stealer gets the first walk of the game.
Well, he's got a tough strike zone to throw to. We mentioned how small he is. He stays on top of the plate. If he could just take a few more pitches, he should be able to walk 70, 80 times a year. There you see, last year led the National League with 60 steals and 67 attempts.
Perhaps even more impressive than that number is his percentage success rate last year. 89.6% effective in stealing bases. Womack's first walk of the year for the leadoff batter of the Pirates.
Unbelievable. How many at bats? 40-something at bats?
Yeah. He's just such a free swinger, he doesn't take enough pitches to draw one.
38 at bats, his first walk.
See whether or not he takes off here. 1 down. Jason Kendall has homered and doubled already in this game. 2 RBI homer in the 3rd. Nagel, the quick step-off throw. That percentage last year for that man Womack was the best of this century. Better than Murray Wills back in '62 and Ricky Henderson back in '85. The best in almost 100 years. Tony Womack. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Jason Kendall.
Well, the only thing that keeps him from stealing 100 is getting on base.
Yeah.
I think Tony Womack is probably on his own. Gene Lamont, a former catcher.
Inside to Kendall, 2-1.
But it's something that I found out. I was better at stealing signs at third base by getting signs from the way the grips from the pitcher, the way that he gripped the ball. Gino Lamont, I think, is probably smart enough to let a man that runs this well pick his own pitch to go on.
2-1 count. Jason Kendall, pretty good lead for Womack. Danny Nagel looks down, throws over. You see Nagel, 2 different moves already shown to first base.
Yeah, and what happens when you give the steal sign as direct steal, some guys are so caught up in trying to get a jump that they actually don't get a jump. They freeze up over there.
Nagel, a very tough move to first base. Runner not going. Kendall takes the pitch outside. 3 ball, 1 strike count now on Jason Kendall. He's checking at third base with Jack Lynn, third base coach for Lamont.
Well, this is a real good running situation here. Almost you just make sure he pitches and take off. You know that Kendall, who seldom strikes out, is going to make contact if the ball is in the strike zone. If it's not, you know, he ends up walking. But you can actually score on a double if you have him going here on 3-1.
Had the first 2 3-ball counts of the game for Denny Nagel come here in this inning. He walked Womack. Now he's 3-1 on Jason Kendall. Womack not going fastball. He was sitting on it. That's going to go into the glove of Klesko on to third base. Womack throw to second. And searching for the cycle in this game now is Jason Kendall. A single, a home run, and a double already. Good play by Klesko to hold him to that single.
Well, Nagel, after the changeup, comes back inside, gets the ball out over the plate, and Kendall is all over him. He's hit 3 rockets tonight. There you see the improved outfield play of Klesko with the rain that we had prior. That ball skips. And there you see Womack with his great speed, not really running hard there, seeing the ball caught and then turns it on.
So the Pirates now, 3 runs on 6 hits off Denny Nagel, have runners at first and third. Only 1 away. Mark Smith takes it down low for a ball.
Well, Nagel's gotten Smith the last 2 times, both strikeouts. Actually, a pop-up on a changeup and then punched him out with a strikeout. Has not even shown him a fastball. So Smith should be thinking something soft here, trying to stay back. Another changeup.
1-0 delivery. That's in the dirt. Runner coming home. Lopez will have to chase it down. 4-1. Womack crosses. Kendall goes to second.
Just a change-up with that screwball rotation that Lopez gets a little lazy with. He tries to glove it instead of going down on his knee and blocking the ball. He needs to go down on both knees, square up, block the ball, and he got a little lazy trying to catch it with his glove.
Wild pitch. Charge to Denny Nagel.
I'd call that a pass ball.
Yeah, I would too. Kendall should have at least blocked that. A 2-0 count on Mark Smith. Runner at second base. Outside with a changeup. And Denny Nagel struggling here in this inning. He's falling behind hitters, which is the #1 no-no for pitchers. You got to get that first strike. When you don't, these kind of innings happen. Womack got a walk and scored. Strike on the outside corner. 3-1 count on Smith. Kendall at second base, 1 out.
And Nagel's not going to give in to him. Another situation here, you'll see Nagel, as we talked about, Pete Vukovich, the pitching coach for the Pirates, with first base open, even a 3-1 count, he's not going to give in to Smith. Probably come back with a changeup here. Let's see if we can get the sign from the catcher.
One lead. Pirates on top. Mark Smith trying to add to it.
Another changeup.
3-2.
Well, actually, Javi sets up outside. This is a fastball. He comes back over the plate. Mark Smith just missed that pitch. Real good swing.
Uncharacteristic night for Nagel. 2 home runs already hit off him. He's wild pitched in a run and 3 3-ball counts in a row. He's gotten this one back, though, to 3-2. Smith fouls it back to keep the at-bat alive.
Pretty good piece of hitting there. Nagel comes in with the fastball after striking him out on the changeup his last at-bat. Javi shifts inside, and Nagel tries to bury that ball in on his hands. Smith pulls his back barrel in and fouls the ball off to score it.
Nagel in his first start against the Phillies, 7 innings, gave up only 1 run on 4 hits. The Pirates have 4 runs on 6 hits off him, and we're in the 5th. Kendall off second base. 3-2 to Smith. He got him. 8 strikeouts. Smith thinks the inning's over. Mark, you still got another out. Steve Levy.
All right, Gary, I'm here with you. The Marlins and the Phillies, Derek Lee continues his tear. A grand slam, 5 RBIs last night. He adds to that with a 2-run bomb here tonight. Although Florida's still trailing, but it's only 4-3.
Slugfest before that one's over. 8 strikeouts, all swinging against Denny Nagel. Now there are 2 down. Kevin Young. Young has struck out twice. Nagel, that one towards the gap. Left center will fall in. Kendall running, he'll score. RBI single. Young, 5-1 Pirates.
Fastball right here inside. There you see him hitting it off the end of the bat. That may have been a changeup, but he hits that ball off the end of the bat. It's out there in no man's land. No one's got a chance for that ball.
So Young picking up the RBI, and Leo Mazzoni for the first time will get on the horn. Young now with his first RBI of the season is on at first base with 2 down. Allensworth is grounded out, flied out, runner goes. Lopez throw right on the money. Rafael Belliard the tag. Javi Lopez, who threw him out at a 29% effect rate last year, has now thrown out 4 of 9. What a line. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He's thrown 82 pitches. Esteban Loaiza goes to work against Chipper Jones. Pirates exploding here against Atlanta in their second game at home. Chipper Jones is flied out, hit into a fielder's choice. Chops that one down to first base. Kevin Young says, I got it. 1 away in the 6th. Esteban Loaiza, unlike Denny Nagel, rolling along here, having given up only a run on 3 hits. Interesting note that among all active pitchers in the majors, this man, Esteban Loaiza, has the best earned run average for the month of April.
No way.
1.59.
Wow.
He got off to a great start last year when he went 4-0 at the beginning of the year. The other great April numbers go to Rick Reed of the Mets, Francisco Cordova of the Pirates, Roger Clemens in Toronto, Pedro Martinez and Greg Maddux, rounding out that group of very good April starters. 0-2 count on Galarraga, and he didn't like it. Galarraga got his second home run in the second inning, which for a moment gave the Atlanta Braves a 1-0 lead. It's still their only run, and Loaiza's got his second strikeout.
Hard slider away. Galarraga just cannot get out there to it. This ball just ends up going down. Watch his front foot. Just bends a little bit away from the ball, more his front shoulder than anything.
There are the 2 Ks hung for Esteban Loaiza. That one down to first, foul ball. 2 away, nobody on. Ryan Plesko, who has walked and grounded out. Braves having a hard time figuring out Esteban Loaiza. Loaiza's 1-2 lifetime against the Atlanta Braves. He's had 5 starts prior to this one against them. Fastball misses away.
Well, there's no reason why, if you just deal on stuff, if you judge a man on stuff, well, a man that throws the ball 90, 92 miles an hour with as much movement and as good a slider and splitter as he has doesn't win 15 ball games.
Left field on the inside-out swing. Mark Smith, warning track's got it, and that'll do it. Esteban Loaiza's in charge. He's now retired 8 in a row. Only 2 balls hit out of the infield in this game.
7 games this year. They could use another couple of runs after Bernie Williams' RBI single plated Derek Jeter. Yanks are leading the M's 2-1. We'll keep you posted.
And back here, you see the poster child for the American Dental Association. And he's loving every minute of it.
He's getting into that. He's getting into that stuff.
Pirates leading it by a score of 5-1. Gary Thorne, Ray Knight, thanks for joining us, everybody. Denny Nagel back to work on the mound. Jermaine Allensworth, 0 for 2, is grounded out, flied out, but at least he hasn't struck out. 8 strikeouts for Denny Nagel. His career high is 12. He's probably not going to be around long enough for that to happen here. Off-speed strike to Allensworth, 1-1. The Pittsburgh Pirates, surprise team last year, finishing 79 and 83. They gave it a run towards the playoffs. Good play made by Galarraga. Nagel covering. Allensworth is retired. One down here in the 6th inning.
Denny Nagel. You see there the first time around the batting order, 29 pitches, 21 strikes. Second time, 35 pitches, 27 strikes, 2 home runs. The difference there, although it's 2 for 9 and 3 for 9, is he started to get the ball up in the strike zone. The third time around, 2 for 4, 21 pitches, 10 strikes. But those last 2 times around the batting order began to get the ball up in the strike zone.
Jose Guillen takes it away. The Atlanta Braves are a team that relies heavily on a pitch count as to when to remove pitch. And Nagel, when he gets up around that 90 mark, is when he tends to tire and become ineffective. 1 ball, 1 strike on Guillen.
Well, a real good major league starting pitcher averages 15 pitches per inning. If you multiply 15 times 6, that ends up somewhere around 90. And that's what most pitchers are able to go if they go 6 innings. Anything above that, a big plus. That's the way major league pitching has become so specialized now.
Nagel has thrown 89 pitches. Almost wished he had that one back, but Klesko will track her down. Guillen retired on the fly ball out. He was bidding for his 2nd home run of the ball game right there. He got his 2nd in the 4th inning, 2 down in the 6th.
Third baseman, Freddie Garcia.
2 away, bases empty for the Pirates, and Freddie Garcia coming up. The other irony in this game is the Pirates have had the leadoff man on in only 1 inning of this ball game, yet have been able to come up with a 5-1 lead. Garcia, he has been a strikeout victim twice in this game. 1 for 6 in this series against Atlanta. Freddie Garcia, 25 years old. Lou Collier, their shortstop, 24 years old. Off the end of the bat down to first base. The Cats got it. Nagel covers, and that'll do it. So Denny Nagel retires the side in order. Now the Atlanta Braves need to find a way to get to Esteban Loaiza down by 4. Get SkyTel and get the message. Guaranteed. First half of our doubleheader coming away from Pittsburgh. Gary Thorne and Ray Knight with you. It'll be the Red Sox at Anaheim. Second half of our doubleheader coming up here on this Wednesday night. We go to the 7th inning, 5-7-1 for the Pirates, 1-3-0 for the Braves. Lopez up, but Esteban Loaiza misses up high to him. 1 run, 3 hits for the Atlanta Braves. They had their chances earlier in the game. They have stranded 4, 2 in scoring position. 8 in a row have now been retired by Esteban Loaiza.
There's 2 breaking balls high in the strike zone. This is the inning that Loaiza generally struggles, that 6th or 7th inning. Again, you get to that 80, 85 pitch count.
He missed up high. Did not go around. Randy Marsh at first. And Edmondson is up in the bullpen now for the Atlanta Braves. Nagel's due to hit 4th and probably will come out anyway. 3-0 delivery. The slider missing away. Lopez, who had a single his last time up, gets a leadoff walk. Steve Levy.
All right, Gary, thanks. The Rockies were pretty smart to walk Mark McGwire in his first 2 at-bats, because in his 3rd at-bat, drills the 2-run single there. He now has 16 RBIs to lead the majors, and the Cards are leading the Rocks 6-1.
Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals are going to have some kind of season. Leadoff man is on, and a strike taken by Tony Graffinino. 2 walks given up by Loaiza. Leadoff walk here to Lopez.
That was a 73rd pitch there for Loaiza, only averaging 12, a little over 12 pitches an inning. That's outstanding.
Foul back on the inside fastball. 2-strike count quickly on Tony Graffinino. Graffinino, 25 years old, .241 career hitter, taking over at second base for Mark Lemke. Part of that change in the infield for Atlanta. Guys who have been bench players getting opportunities to play regularly this year. 0-2 delivery, and he got him. Loaiza's got 3 Ks, 1 down.
There you see Christensen and Wilkins. The left-hander Christensen, the right-hander Wilkins. Loaiza only at 75 pitches. But you know, Lamont knows him a lot better than anybody else and knows that this is a part of the game that he tends to struggle.
One down. Lopez remains on at first base. Rafael Belliard, number 8 hitter, is grounded out and flied out.
Yes.
Loaiza inside to him, ball 1. Esteban Loaiza's had the leadoff man on in this game only 3 times. One was on an error, one was the home run by Galarraga, and the other the walk here this inning. Fastball. You see the Braves taking pitches here. They're trying to get a walk if they can. Michael Tucker's come out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Denny Nagel. Rafael Belliard, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Lopez not going anywhere at first base. And a ground ball towards second. Womack. Collier. They turn to a leadoff walk with only 3 batters face Loaiza. 7th inning stretch time at Pittsburgh. Pirates lead it 5-1.
What's this stuff? Yep!
And try and work his way through another half inning here in the bottom half of the 7th. Lou Collier, first ball hitting, fouls it off. We mentioned the left side of the infield for Pittsburgh, young with Garcia 25, Collier 24, but Ray, there are younger, better ones coming.
Oh, there really are. Cam Bonifay, Aramis Ramirez hit 29 home runs last year, 19 years old, down in AAA. Abraham Nunez, just 21 years old, switch hitting shortstop, tremendous defensive player according to Cam. And then a young 20-year-old Chad Hermanson, who played second base, hit 20 home runs. So he feels that their better prospects are 1 year away.
That one off the end of the bat to center field. Andrew Jones moves over and puts it away. Collier is retired. So these ball players like Lou Collier who are here now know they have got to perform well because Bonifay's got these guys waiting, and if they don't, they're going to come up.
Well, that's what happens when they made that wholesale change here, when they started moving all their outstanding players, the Jeff Kings, the Jay Bells, out of here. They got a lot of young prospects in return, and they've been able to build up this minor league organization, and it's very strong.
Esteban Loaiza hitting against Denny Nagel. He has singled and struck out. His work's been done on the mound tonight, giving up just 3 hits to the Atlanta Braves. Only one run, the homer by Galarraga. Nagel outside to him. Loaiza looks as though he may be ready to have himself a year. Last year, even though he was 11-11, he gave up the 6th most hits among National League pitchers. Loaiza this year seems to have settled down a bit. He also hit 12 batters last year, 3rd highest. He had trouble with control. In the first couple of starts he's made this year, he looks much more mature.
Well, he does. He was very erratic, and you're right. There's a certain time in the big leagues when you start feeling the confidence that you belong there.
Andrew Jones, Loaiza's the second out. 2 down here in the 7th inning. Take a look at our in-game box score in the first half of our doubleheader here on Wednesday Night Baseball. See up top there, 5 of 8 base runners have scored in this game for the Pirates. They've gotten them on, gotten them in. Womack scored when he drew a leadoff walk. Kendall, Guillen have had the home runs in this game, and Kendall's got a 3-for-3 going and a shot at the cycle. He needs the triple. Fouled off at the plate by Tony Womack, the leadoff batter, with 2 down. Womack's first walk of the year came in the 5th inning with 1 down. He scored later on a wild pitch charge to Denny Nagel. That's the only walk given up by Nagel in the game. Strike 2. Oh-2 delivery. Ooh, he thought about it, and they want to check at third. No, Bill Hahn down at third base. Nagel knows he'll chase pitches, so Nagel put one out there for him to go fishing. And he almost did. 1-2. Womack's a .274 career hitter, but not a good on-base percentage, especially for a leadoff batter. 1-2 pitch to him, a chopper toward short. Rafael Belliard, the overhand throw. And a 1-2-3 inning. We've completed 7 here in Pittsburgh. That'll probably be it for Denny Nagel. He'll leave the ball game trailing 5-1. Esteban Loaiza's gone the distance. for Pittsburgh. Michael Tucker is the pinch hitter for Denny Nagel. Tucker's been under the lineup with bruised ribs. There's a silo shot. Kendall, the catcher, called off by Freddie Garcia, who's got a better angle. Tucker's retired, 1 down. You don't want to see your catcher having to make that play on that kind of pop-up.
Shoot, center fielder can almost catch that.
Yeah, that's right. Take a look at our in-game box score here for these Braves. 1 base runner since the 4th inning. Galarraga, the home run, accounting for their only run of the game. Lopez and Graffinino, a couple of singles. It's been Loaiza, chopped foul off the foot of leadoff batter Andrew Jones. 0 for 3. And first ball hitting again.
So if there's one thing to learn about watching a major league game, if you watch the Tony Gwynns, the Wade Boggs, the big average hitters, the Paul Molitor's, you'll see that they know the strike zone. For all you young kids at home, you must learn the strike zone.
Oh, he caught it! Esteban Loaiza on the line drive from Andrew Jones, 2 away.
And still here, breaking ball down and away. Andrew is just, I'm telling you, if anything's bad on the plate, he's going to hit it hard. That ball right there was a nasty pitch down and away, and he hit the ball hard. 2 pitches per at bat, not enough, no way. As a leadoff hitter, you probably should see a minimum of 5.
Wow. Not going to get to see many pitchers or help yourself out in knowing a pitcher when you're only looking at a couple per at-bat.
But what I was going to say about young hitters at home is you need to get someone to go out to you and do a lot of what I call dry batting practice, where you have a guy throw you the ball, and you take it, take, 100, 200 pitches a day to learn what a strike is.
And that's what you get from that minor league experience that
Absolutely.
he does not have.
Absolutely. You have to know what your strength is. You cannot hit every ball equally. I remember Ted Williams' great book, Science of Hitting. He had a graph in there showing what he hit on balls in different areas in the strike zone, and even him on those pitches would hit 220.
Curtis Pride takes that one to right field. That'll be hauled in. Ian's got it, and Loaiza's on a roll. He retires the side in order in the 8th.
Another shortcut to small business success.
First, and Jose Guillen in the 4th inning, his second. The long ball tonight. Kelly Springfield Tire, key plays of the game.
24-year-old Brian Edmondson on the mound, fastball slider. Been in 1 game so far this year. 2/3 of an inning.
He's on for Nagel, who works 7. Tucker stays in the ball game. Michael Tucker, as a pinch hitter, will be batting 9th on the double switch. Brian Edmondson. Fastball on the outside corner to Jason Kendall. Can he get a triple? If he does, he'll have hit for the cycle. The last Pirate to hit for the cycle, Gary Reedus, did it at Cincinnati in August of 1984. 89, sorry. August 25 of 89. Jason Kendall had a double his first time up, a home run his first of the year in the 3rd, and a single in the 5th inning. 1-2 count on him. Inside, 2-2.
Well, he's all business, isn't he? Jason Kendall. His father, Fred Kendall, was a catcher in the big leagues for a long time.
Edmondson with a 2-2 out of the stretch. Fly ball hit in the air, right center field. Andrew Jones and Tucker there. Jones calls he's got it. And Kendall is finally retired by the Atlanta staff tonight. First time they've got him. Fans recognizing his performance tonight. A big hand for him as he heads back. 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Danny Nagel, 7 innings, 5 runs earned on 7 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 8, but he gave up 2 home runs. Pittsburgh Pirates have left only 2 on in this game. 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd. Otherwise, when they've gotten them on, they've gotten them in. Mark Smith making the start. 2 strikeouts in the pop-out tonight. no hits on the season. And that one, a 1-1 count. Brian Edmondson had been a starting pitcher. There's Loaiza. Going to come out here in the 9th inning and take a shot at a complete game for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brian Edmondson out of the bullpen had been a starter at the minor league level, selected in the Rule 5 draft from the Mets last December. Right field, Tucker. Smith retired, 2 down. Steve Levy.
All right, Gary, thanks. Back to Seattle. We go with the Yanks who snapped that 2-2 tie with the Mariners. Thanks to Chad Curtis's 2-run bomb off Bobby Ayala. And that makes it 4 to New York as they play the top of the 8th. Back to you guys.
Steve keeping us updated on the other games going on elsewhere. Here, 2 down. Edmondson will face Young, who had an RBI single in his last at-bat. Picking up his first run batted in, and a .275 average now for the first baseman of the Pirates. Edmondson misses with that one outside. Looking ahead for the Atlanta Braves, middle of the order, Chipper Jones, Galarraga, and Klesko due up in the 9th inning. Outside for a ball. 5-1 lead. Pittsburgh has dominated here in this game. The Atlanta starting staff came in with an ERA of 1.85 in their first 6 games. That is going to go up, obviously, with Denny Nagel having given up the 5 runs on 7 hits in this one over 7. Nagel, obviously the pitcher of record for Atlanta, fouled off the foot that time of Young. 3 ball, 1 strike count on it. John Smoltz still missing off this Atlanta staff. Had his 2nd rehab start last night. He's due back on April 16th to make a start against these Pirates. Outside corner, strike 3 and 2. So the 4-man rotation will become a 5-man again. 3-2 delivery by Edmondson, and that's another base hit into right field. Kevin Young taking it the other way now has a 2-for-4 night. Hit number 8 for the Pirates.
Nice stroke there. He set him up, threw him fastballs up, 3-0, then a fastball away, and Kevin Young just stays right there. See him stay back and just shoot that ball to right field.
Twice released, twice recovered. Now a major leaguer and a starter here in Pittsburgh. Young on at first base, and Jermaine Allensworth, 0-for-3, has grounded out twice and flied out. He had a 2-for-3 in the opener against Atlanta last night. And he fouls that one off. 6 hits and 20 at-bats on the year. 1 RBI.
I think, as you alluded to before, Allensworth probably will be a better 2-hole hitter. He hits the ball to right field, and I believe I'd go ahead and put Kendall in that 5-hole. Behind Young and Martin, and then you have 3 guys stacked up that can do some damage offensively.
That one gets away. Lopez will chase down. Young goes down to second base easily. Well, that certainly, Ray, has been under consideration during all of spring training and still is by Gene Lamont. And if Jason Kendall continues to hit the way he's hitting, he's almost going to have to move him down in order to use him as an RBI man rather than a table setter.
Well, what makes it so tough is Kendall does take a lot of pitches and therefore allows Womack an opportunity to steal. Allensworth, again, is a free swinger. Although he hits the ball to right field, doesn't walk very much. And that's one reason why he's moved down in the lineup, because he wasn't patient enough to allow Womack to get a chance to run.
Yep. A wild pitch moves the runner down. The fastball's up high. 2 ball, 1 strike count. So Edmondson charged with a wild pitch, as Nagel was, that ended up scoring a run in the 5th inning on Nagel's wild pitch. Brian Edmondson out of the bullpen for Atlanta. Allensworth with a 2-1 count, 2 down. And again behind on the fastball. Fouls that one off. Let's take a look at our Sherman-Williams pitching summary. Nagel and Loaiza.
Only 84 pitches there for Loaiza. Of those 84, 60 strikes. That's only 10 pitches an inning. Only twice tonight has he gone over 11 pitches, Loaiza, in 1 inning.
Very calm. collected on the bench with a 4-run lead and 3 outs away from a complete game win. Allensworth, still 2-2 count on him. He's been behind on all 3 fastballs that he's ripped foul off that right field side.
Well, last year I thought this young man would become a 300 hitter because he hits the ball so well to right field. And then he pulls the breaking ball, but almost every fastball, he's got a little loop in his swing, a natural inside-out swing, hits the ball to right field often.
No, Ray, he suffered an injury last year. He had a broken bone in his left hand after an April in which he hit 286. Never came back anywhere near that number for the remainder of the year. Just 258 after he came off the DL. It's one of the reasons they're reluctant to move him up in the order. Swung on, foul tip, held on to. Edmondson gets the strikeout. No runs, a base hit, 1 left on. Braves, 9th inning coming up. Esteban Loaiza looking for a complete game win. Chipper Jones, 9th inning, 0 for 3 in this ball game. Still batting at .481 with 13 hits in 27 at-bats, but Loaiza shut him down. Loaiza misses inside, 2 ball, 1 strike count. Braves have been denied anything here in this game by Loaiza. That one down the left field line. Over. That's going to fall in for a base hit off the wall. Chipper Jones on his way to second. Smith gets it in, and the Braves have a lead-off double here in the 9th inning.
First baseman, Andres Galarraga.
Andres Galarraga coming up. He had a home run in the 2nd inning. Most home runs by an opponent here in this ballpark. Galarraga's 19, ranking right up there among some big names.
Well, I played with every one of those guys.
Where's your name?
Shoot, about 2.
2?
Yeah.
That's just here in Pittsburgh. You hit them elsewhere.
Yeah, I killed them.
You did. Galarraga. Jones off second base. Only 4 hits for the Atlanta Braves. Galarraga takes the fastball, ball 1. That is the first hit the Braves have had since the 4th inning of this game. The only other base runner was a walk in the 7th inning. Galarraga fights it off, 1 ball, 1 strike. Christensen and Loisel both have been up before. They will get ready again in the bullpen. Loisel, the closer of this staff. 1-1 count. Galarraga goes to right field. That ball hit hard. Guillen there looking. And it's gone. Goodbye, home run. And another one. Andres Galarraga's 2nd home run of the game. A 2-run homer, 9th inning. And the Atlanta Braves are making this a ball game. There's still nobody out.
Yeah, and he's moving up that graphic in a hurry.
Isn't he?
We mentioned Galarraga striking out a lot, and this is why he strikes out, because I tell you what, he has a vicious swing. There's a breaking ball out over the plate. You do not want this man to extend his arms, as you saw earlier in our... And there, Loaiza just knows it. I cannot say what he's saying.
A very fine hand for Esteban Loaiza. He's not going to get the complete game. He still could get the win.
Klesko if he does.
Klesko going for the long ball. Christensen, one of those specialty pitchers out of the bullpen. Each of his 3 appearances so far, he's worked 1/3 of an inning just to get 1 left-hander out. And that's what they're asking him to do here. And he's ahead on Klesko, 2 strikes.
Well, Lamont learning a lot from Jimmy Leland, having coached for him, although he managed in the American League, has 3 left-handers, Christensen, Peters, and Tabaka, along with 4 right-handers.
28-year-old left-hander, and he came on and got it done. Klesko a strikeout victim, 1 away in the 9th inning, and that'll be it for Christensen.
Hard slider, down and away as you see Kendall set up there. Not even close.
So Klesko retired via the strikeout. Now we'll see the closer, Loisel, out of the bullpen to try and wrap it up here in the 9th inning.
Hey, don't work too late, kid.
Loisel, a 2-run shot with Chipper Jones already on. He now has 3 home runs on the season, 2 in this game. Typical Galarraga night, 2 home runs, 2 strikeouts.
Rich Loisel, the closer, last year 29 saves, second only to Todd Worrell as a rookie way back in 1986 when Worrell had 36. Man has a very good fastball, 93, 94 mile an hour fastball, cuts the ball, sinks it, and throws a splitter.
Rich Loisel, 2 for 3 in save opportunities so far. Picked up his 2nd save on Monday. He blew a save in New York in the 9th inning on Saturday. And Loisel comes on here, and this is a dangerous situation. This ball game is not over. 1 down in the 9th inning. Braves get 1 more on. They'll have the potential tying run at the plate. They've got Lopez to be followed by Graffinino, and Loaiza watching from the bench, hoping to get his first W. 2 outs away from that. First ball chopped towards short. Lou Collier cut off by Garcia, and he throws it wild. And the potential tying run will come to the plate. Freddie Garcia trying to cut it off, and Lopez is on.
Just a chopper here. Third baseman playing back very deep with Lopez with less than average speed. Shortstop coming. Third baseman cutting him here, just making a bad throw. This Pirates, as I talked to a couple of riders prior to the game, might have a little trouble on defense on the left side. Talked about those youngsters coming up.
They blew a game against the Mets, Ray, on what would have been a 3rd out. Polkovich at short over the weekend. Just threw a ball wildly to first, and the Mets got a win. Now here in the 9th inning, Garcia, the 3rd baseman, throws one wild. They do call that a hit, however, not an error. So Lopez is on. Tony Graffinino. Loisel misses up high, and he's behind 2 balls and no strikes.
We're going to see a pinch hitter, most probably for Belliard and the pitcher, if Graffinino can reach.
2-0 count. Tony Graffinino, hitter's pitch, and he hit it to center field. Allensworth backing up. He's got it. And there are 2 down. This was the heartbreaking play we were talking about, as Polkovich had just come on to play short. It was the first ball hit to him by Ray Ordonez. That was the throw. Ordonez got in. The Mets scored a run and won the game.
Yeah, that's about as routine a play as you can have for a shortstop. A 3-hopper and then just a crow hop throw and threw wild to first. But his team has done that all spring. They're young. There you see Polkovich.
Well, the Braves, 2 down, 9th inning, trailing 5-3. Pinch hitter is Danny Bautista. Down to first. He's got a base hit. It'll go into the right field corner. Javi Lopez on his way to 3rd base. Guillen gets it in, and the game's alive. A pinch hit single by Danny Bautista.
His team has done that all spring. They're young. There you see Polkovich.
Well, the Braves, 2 down, 9th inning, trailing 5-3. Pinch hitter is Danny Bautista. Down to first. He's got a base hit. It'll go into the right field corner. Javi Lopez on his way to 3rd base. Guillen gets it in, and the game's alive. A pinch hit single by Danny Bautista.
Boy, those pinch hitters come up swinging at the first pitch. That's one thing that Bob Bailey told me when he was with the Reds. You go up there hacking it, the first thing you see that looks big. Fastball down, Bautista shoots the ball right side. Brings up Mike Tucker, who went into the game as a part of that double switch earlier.
Bautista's now 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter. The potential tying runs on base, and Michael Tucker batting in the 9 spot, up for the 2nd time. Loisel's pitch is down low, and the fans on Loisel as he continues to fall behind these Atlanta hitters. Michael Tucker popped out in his only at-bat in this game. Loisel, 1-0 delivery. That ball hit in the air to center field deep. Allensworth should be the game. It's over. Two runs on 4 hits, but 2 left on. Loisel wins it. Denny Nagel the loser. Loiza gets the win, rather, and Loisel the save. And the Pittsburgh Pirates have won their first game at home this year as they beat the Braves 5-3.
Yeah, and Jason Kendall, outstanding job. Starting pitcher reacts right here. Loiza, outstanding job. 8 innings, just tremendous job right at 90 pitches.
Esteban Loiza, the Pirates come away with a victory. Ray Knight and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Thanks for joining us, one and all. The Pirates come away with a victory, our final 5-3 over Atlanta. Back to Steve Levy.